Hello, you're listening to Hibs Talk. I'm your host as always, Gav. Joining me today is Dave.
Alright.
And Stephen.
Hello.
How you doing, guys?
I'm good, mate. You?
I'm very good, yeah, good. How about yourself, Stephen? How you getting on?
Yeah, not too bad, thanks.
Good. You still have a good weekend? Bit weird with no Hibs, eh? Obviously we had Hibs on Friday, but aye, good weekend though.
Ended up watching the football on that last night anyway, so still got my fix. And I'll probably watch a bit of the day, so. But it is weird when your team's not playing on a Saturday or a Sunday.
Yeah. Aye. Stephen, what about yourself? What'd you get up to?
Yeah, same really, just watched football. I was in town watching the Watford game last night and then came home. That was it.
Brilliant. Sounds good.
Exciting as it comes.
I was up late last night watching the wrestling, but I know Dave's not a big fan of the wrestling, so I'll not bore you with all the details of that. But it was very good. I really enjoyed it, so I'm happy with that. But anyway, we're obviously going to talk about the fact that we're heading back to Hampden again, and we'll have a look back at the Inverness game. We'll also have a look ahead to the Edinburgh Derby on Tuesday, which is going ahead, which obviously was that kind of thing it might not have, depending on yesterday's result. And then we'll finish up with a nice Derby quiz to get ourselves in the mood for Tuesday. So let's start with the Inverness game then. 5-2. Overall, sort of first general thoughts on the game.
That was brilliant. Good to see loads of goals and actually keep attacking a team when you're winning rather than just sitting off and holding on. It was like, came out, we're putting you in your place. We're going to keep going. I really enjoyed it. If we could share that enthusiasm for the full 90 minutes rather than just the second half, that would have been ideal. But especially considering I had 2-0 at half time. But no, it was a good game.
We'll come back to the atmosphere of the game at the end of this. But the first thing, we had an opportunity to go 1-0 up via penalty. But there was a claim for a penalty before then. Everyone sort of seems to have different opinions on this. Should have Martin of Boyle have got a penalty, and should the keeper have been sent off?
I've seen it a few times now. At the time I thought he definitely was clipped, but after I've seen it a few times I still think there is contact, and Boyle says there was contact, and I don't think I'm going to choose to believe Martin Boyle. So aye, we should have.
Stephen?
No, same opinion. After watching it back a few times there was a lot of different angles and it looked a wee bit dubious, but I'd go with Boyle's opinion. The pace it runs, it only takes a wee clip to get him really done. So the penalty could have been avoided in the first place. Like, he didn't need to try and round the keeper.
First
touch was a bit heavy, I think. So,
but I think, Boyle, we've seen later on how good with penalties we've been recently. Boyle knows that. I think, but if Boyle's got the opportunity to score, I think he'd rather that. So I think it was a penalty. I think there's been contact and he's went down. But then, of course, we did get a penalty, as I say, and a bit of debate on who was going to take it. Unclear whether it was been kind of decided before, but Paul Hanlon, as captain, grabbed the ball and decided he was going to take it. Do you like to sort of see that leadership and kind of like, you know what, no, I'm taking it, or would you rather? It's unclear whether there's been something decided beforehand. I don't want to linger on this too much because I watched a Monday Night Football where they've done this for ages, about 10-15 minutes, talking about Rashford and penalties, and it's like, we get it, they should have decided beforehand, but what was your kind of overall thoughts on it?
Well, that is my opinion. It should be decided beforehand. Yeah. They should know who the penalty taker is. Not in this ridiculous situation where you've got folk arguing there who's like having the ball and looks childish and it's unorganised. If you've got a plan, I know it's like maybe who's feeling it in the moment, but And I know I've seen other people saying that it doesn't really matter who hits them, you can get people that are just good at penalties, but again, for me, a striker should be hitting your penalties.
Yeah, they rely on confidence in the amount of goals they're getting and stuff, and that just helps.
It's better finishers,
Yeah. Stephen, do you think there's a chance that Hanlon was set to take it and McNulty, after winning it, was like, look, I've won the penalty, I feel confident, can I take it? And Hanlon's just went no, or do you think this is something that just, it wasn't decided beforehand?
I'd be amazed if Hanlon was the one that was set for taking the penalty in the first place. Obviously we had this discussion, and it shouldn't really be like one miss and then you're off penalties, because obviously McNulty and Allen have both missed penalties in the last couple of weeks. But the thing is, if you're going to sit there, take a ball off a striker, sit and argue about it in front of nearly 10,000 people, and then hit it straight at the keeper, and then get a rebound and still hit it over the bar. It's ridiculous. Like, all he's done is make himself look like an absolute clown.
I was speaking to a Rangers fan about this because Tav's been dropped off penalties now for Rangers, and he scored all these penalties last year. He's clearly the best penalty taker, and he missed one, so he got dropped from the penalties, and now they've missed a couple after that and stuff. And it's like, if they're just going, right, okay, Tav's missed one, but he's a penalty taker, let's just stick with him, they wouldn't have missed as many penalties as they had. So I think you've got to just decide your penalty taker person, I think, and show confidence and stick with them rather than this whole rotation thing. But anyway, we did take the go in front. We've kind of been a bit susceptible to set pieces, but Newell had been, great delivery, corners and stuff, but this one, a free kick delivered into the box, Doidge up and wins, and then a great finish from Adam Jackson.
Yeah, this Jenky meant it.
Aye, 100%.
Aye.
I think
are
you a bit dubious?
No, I think he meant it. I just whether he meant it to go exactly where it went. It's one of them.
Do you think he was just sort of swinging a leg at it rather than this fantastic finish, which it kind of was?
Yeah, if he did mean it and that's the way he finishes, it should have been him hitting the penalty.
Yeah.
He should be playing up front. It was good. Aye.
Stephen, what do you think of Doidge's involvement in the goal, up and winning it? Showing that he can be a threat from set pieces, not just in scoring but also assisting.
Well, he's been showing it more and more over the last few weeks. Like he's becoming a lot more involved in the run up to goals as well as actually just scoring them, and that's what makes a massive difference. That's what he's there to do. And then
into the second half, we increased that lead. Sorry, McNulty through. Dave, you had your bet can involve McNulty scoring, so you might be a bit biased with. So Stephen, I'll go to you. I know we end up with a goal, but do you want your striker shooting in that position, or are you quite happy that he passed to Allen?
I'm happy that he passed it because we got a goal from it, but at the same time is that showing a lack of confidence, because obviously normally a striker would shoot if they were pretty much one-on-one with a keeper. But
at the same time, if there's a guaranteed goal there, I like a striker to be taking the guaranteed goal option rather than being greedy.
They're good. I don't think it lacks confidence, because he, at the end of the day, he was composed enough to take his time and then pass it across the box. And well, Doidge probably wouldn't have got as much stick as he did if he had just slotted it to the right up at Aberdeen. So you've got to look at the examples.
Yeah.
But I wanted to hit it for selfish reasons.
Yeah.
Because I had a bet on him scoring, but oh well. That's probably why I'm annoyed Hamlin took the penalty.
Aye.
Really deep down. See if I never had Manolo, I couldn't give a shit. But I did, so.
And then John Robertson got booking and got a bit of stick from Hibs fans, and turns out he can see the future. He sort of held up 5-1 and saying the things to come. It's quite incredible that he kind of knew what was coming. But on Inverness, what did you make of their tactics? I mean, Boyle a wee bit critical after the game, understandably. They picked up a lot of bookings and a lot of them seem to be fouls on Boyle. What was your kind of view on Inverness's approach?
For me, because I'm not a football manager, my tactic to stop somebody like Boyle would be kick him. But that's because I'm tactically naive. But so does that make John Robertson and his Inverness coaching staff naive? Then probably they didn't know how to stop him. So, aye. You see it a lot down in England now, especially like against Wolves. Like everybody's like just kicking out at Traore because he's got a pace to take it, and he plays sort of similar, obviously a bit more built than Boyle, but same sort of direct running towards fullbacks, and that's what's causing it. So I think it was just a case of kick Boyle until he's down.
Adam was a shite. Martin Boyle, pass it on.
Right, similar.
But now overall, Boyle's performance really good.
Yeah, it was brilliant.
You got us forward a lot. And then the next one, Dave, you were kind of touched on this, but it's great to see us, like say, with the Inverness going out to 10 men rather than just sitting on our lead. Right, it's a cup game, we're through, let's sort of rest our energy for it. No, let's get our confidence going, let's get goals, and we went for the kill. Great to see that we had that killer instinct.
It's an entertainment business. Go and try and entertain the folk that are there and make the 10,000 that didn't bother coming jealous that they missed it. Or they're probably sitting in their fucking house with a cup of tea and a coffee if it was on BBC, wasn't it? Oh well. Tell you who was enjoying it though, Docherty looked as though he was up for the entertainment value. After his goal, his celebration was quite class.
Yeah.
Maybe he was just saying like get up to Canberra, considering Canberra couldn't play because he was cup tied, but no, it was good.
And that's the benefit now, obviously, with Rangers going out, that we know that we've got Greg Docherty available, obviously barring injuries and suspensions, available for every game now. We don't have to worry about him well, than the Rangers game in the league. But in terms of the cup, he
They're
can
one
play
of the
the
most
cup.
important players. So if we were to go on to win the cup, we'd need him 100%.
Yeah. And then obviously we've seen first goals for Omiyonga and Gullen. I mean, let's start with Omiyonga's one. It was sensational. What a hit.
What a finish. We were right behind it. Like the angle we were sitting at, was class.
Couldn't believe it was him that hit it.
See when Docherty was running through, you were like, right, do something, and he kept running, and he got to the byline, and it looked like he could have had a panicked cross in, but no, took his time, cut it back, and it was some finish, like side foot finish too. It wasn't like he put his laces through.
Yeah, very composed from Docherty in the build up, and another assist for him. He just seems to be getting loads of assists this season.
It takes me back to like when Brian Kerr scored that goal against Hearts, like his only goal for us in the 1-0 win.
That a very good hit, side of the foot, yeah. Okay, so and Gullen as well, like I said, getting his first goal. I thought he was impressive when he came on. A lot of good runs off the ball and stuff, but the ball came across in a brilliant finish from an angle as well to kind of get into that bottom corner. Just a great finish.
See, to be fair, it's all on the ball for Deutsch, so there's enough pace in it, and the way it's put in that he just needs to just guide it. It was some finish though,
and great to see Deutsch, like saying, okay, never got in the score sheet today, but there's got 2 assists and a great overall performance.
Yeah, no, I played really well.
100%.
So who do you guys want in the semi-final? Obviously we're recording this on Sunday morning, so by the time this goes out, the chances are you've already watched the Celtic game. You know who we've got, whether it's St Johnstone, Celtic, Aberdeen or Hearts. So who are you guys wanting?
Hearts. Hearts for me.
Dave, you seem to be thinking about it quite a bit.
I'm thinking about it. I'd take Aberdeen.
See, I didn't want any possibility of Hearts in the final again because I couldn't do it. Like last time I stayed like through the 90 minutes and it was a killer. Like if
you want Hearts in the semi?
I want Hearts in the semi because at least that way there's
I want revenge. I want
in the
Hearts, Hibs, Scottish Cup final. Let's fucking do them.
Watch this.
Let's put that whole thing to bed. It's already to bed anyway because we won it in 2016. But let's fucking beat them in a final.
Aye.
That's what I want.
I don't know. I mean, if they're going to get relegated, so the season's going to be shit anyway. But I don't want a Scottish Cup final or 2 Scottish Cup finals in a row to kind of give them something to be happy about.
But would you not feel better if we beat them in the semi to stop them getting to a final and then we went on and won it after?
Well, if you're guaranteeing me we're winning the cup here, then I don't really care what way it plans out. Stephen, I was asked who I wanted in the semi-final. I've said Aberdeen because I'd quite like Hearts in the final.
That's my opportunity to get revenge on Aberdeen after.
I don't think I want Celtic
in
the semi-final because then it's just nah.
Callum on Facebook here, we asked you guys who you wanted, and Callum's agreed with you, Dave. There anyone but Celtic in the semi, and Gary has said St Johnstone for obvious reasons, and Keith has said Aberdeen. So Sam is wanting to smash the Hearts in the final, so he wants Hearts in the final, and I can see here that Liam has also said he wants Hearts in the semi-final, and Roddy's made a good point here. Dare I suggest Hearts in the semi-final and play it at Murrayfield Stadium? The reason being, I don't want any Hibs players being charged by the Glasgow police for running into their supporters after scoring the winning goal. So what would you say if it was to be Hibs Hearts, like so what Hearts going through? Do you think Murrayfield could be a possibility?
No. Put it at Hampden.
I think if they wouldn't even play a Scottish Cup final at Murrayfield, there's no chance of a semi-final.
It would make sense because we're all in Edinburgh.
Yeah.
So I would take it. But I don't think they will. I think they'll play at Hampden anyway.
I'd prefer it at Murrayfield. It'd be a different day out as well and stuff, and much easier with the tram and that. And yeah, so I'd prefer that. And as Stephen alluded to at the start there, the atmosphere was a lot better the second half. What was your kind of thoughts on? Obviously, Kieran Power, the fans rep, came out and said that that wasn't an agreed thing. They done that off their own back. What's your kind of thoughts on that first off?
I don't have a problem with it because the section, the famous 5 low, was empty anyway. So it's not as if they were like kicking loads of people out their seats, and it kind of proved a point in a way, and it worked. And didn't get me wrong, like I know that the stadium wanted it to work, so that's why everybody then joined in. But we were singing in that second half. We weren't singing in the first half, like me, like us three.
When was the last time at games where you sing song after song after song? It's not been happening. Place has been an absolute library. Like it says, the atmosphere's been dreadful. So it worked. And if they didn't do it, we would have still been like, do you think the famous 5 floor would work? Of course it would.
Yeah.
So
Stephen, what's your kind of thoughts on it?
Yeah, I agree with Dave that obviously it increased the atmosphere and that. I think that there's not too much point in making too big a deal out of it because nothing will get done this season anyway. Whether it'll end up getting incorporated next season at the AGM, obviously Leanne was talking about trying to shift them back into the East Stand. So
she just sort of said that, there's loads of possibilities and she wants to have a working relationship with them to kind of sort out something. But
so do you think it'll be done for next season?
No,
because I don't either.
No,
I don't think it'll be next season.
I never
think
said
it'll be the season
done
after.
next
I know, but why no make it done for next season?
Well,
the season tickets are not on sale yet. Why not sort it now? Because we know there's a problem. It's not working. Why are we waiting another year? What's another year going to do? Still going to have the same problems with folk being like, oh, but that's my seat, or that's what. So just sort the stadium plan out this season while it's working. Be proactive about it.
I was a bit, sympathetic to people that kind of had like, that's their seat and that's where they enjoy sitting. But Dave, you made a good point about that's family section. Like once your kid gets to 19, you can't sit there anymore. You're getting there shifted anyway. So people are getting shifted out as it is. But I think there's enough opportunity for Hibs fans to kind of go, you know what, I like either they can join in with the second sing section, get their seat in there and join in with them, or sort of move to a slightly different seat but we kind of be involved with them, or go, you know what, I've got an opportunity to help improve the atmosphere. I've got an opportunity to help improve the atmosphere at Easter Road. I'm going to give up my seat and allow this sing section to sort of take over the bottom.
Everybody wants a bit of atmosphere, and you seen what we didn't know if that's what made us go attack second half, right? But it'll definitely help the players if the fans are singing and it's no flat. Then you're more enticed to be like, hey, that wee bit of extra energy in you, and that does make a massive difference. Make the family section either West upper or famous 5 upper. Just flip it and hear the singing section to the bottom. I don't see. I'm saying I don't see it because I'm not involved in the planning for a start, but. What I do not see is why it cannot be done for next season rather than waiting longer.
Yeah, I think there's an opportunity. You say about moving the family section. I think you could incorporate the two together. Even have like one side the family section, one side or even then like the kids would then join in and stuff and want to be part of that. I think it would make them that family section a lot more enjoyable if it was I know that some of the songs are singing a bit, but I think there could be a real opportunity to get the family section and the singing section merged together and working together, and like I think the kids would be some of the loudest people in terms of helping create that brilliant atmosphere.
You get what it is though, right? Like there was obviously talk about like safe standing in that as well. They're not going to put safe standing in the famous 5 lower or famous 5 upper. So if you
why not?
They could put it in the lower, but it would have to be at the corner because.
But that's the thing though. Like everybody will want to go to safe standing. So you've got to have like a load of the folk in the East Stand wanting to push over to safe standing. If you're already like East Stand's a lot bigger than the famous 5, so if you're putting them down to the lower and then the safe standing comes up in the East or whatever, all the folk from the singing section are got to come back over to safe standing. So then you've got to have a load of folk kicked out of their seats. And then it's just got to change the atmosphere yet again when that's incorporated.
I think you're going to have that issue with safe standing anyway, because I think there's going to be a real high demand for it. A lot of folk are going to want it. So, and as you see that, the clubs that have already incorporated it, like Celtic and I think English club down south and stuff. There's only so many seats. Everyone kind of wants to be involved in that a little bit, but there's only so many seats. But anyway,
I wonder if the whole bottom row of the famous 5 could just go to safe standing then.
Potentially, aye.
Is that 1,500 seats? Quite a lot.
I don't know.
Like you say, there would be a demand for it.
But I think there's exciting discussions to have with safe stand. But I think the main thing is to get them a better home, the singing section. And I hope this does. I understand that the club are a bit frustrated because they've done it without permission. But at the same time, they were willing to have the conversation, and it seems like that's going to be cancelled and stuff. So I can understand the singing section's frustration. So hopefully they can. Hopefully it doesn't affect the working relationship and they can still work together to get them a better home and help improve that atmosphere at Easter Road.
Yeah, I agree completely.
So on Tuesday, our next league game is against Heart of Midlothian. So having a look here and see a wee bit about our opponents, it seems they're bottom of the league currently, so they're not doing that well. Only 3 wins this season. So aye, obviously I'm having a bit of a joke here. It's the derby. How are you sort of feeling ahead of it?
Last week, even just a couple of days ago, mega confident, because I think that when it's not your next game, you're mega confident. You're like, but then as soon as it's your next game, the derby nerves and that kick in, and you start to all of a sudden build hearts up in your head, and you're like, yeah, they're actually not that bad. They're shite. Why do I think they're not that bad?
Well, that was going to be one of my questions. I mean, Stephen, you start with yourself. Being honest, how did you feel about the derby at 5 p.m. yesterday, and how did you feel at 7:20 p.m. yesterday?
To be fair, I think that the nerves had already kicked in before the game had kicked off last night, and considering one of their 3 wins was against us at Easter Road, so doesn't really fill you with confidence in that stat. But I think obviously their league form and their cup form is completely different. Anybody can really win a cup game, as it was proved. But derbies are always a bit dodgy.
They seem to lift their game for certain
100%.
games, and coming to Easter Road is one of them. So we just need to be aware of that, and be aware of the fact that they're fighting for their life.
Yeah.
What is it with Hearts versus Rangers at Tynecastle? Because that's 2 wins in the space of a few weeks.
Small pitch.
Rangers didn't have as much space, and when their Hearts are pressing them like they were, then they were struggling. Getting the ball away really easy, passing it out the park.
So what do Hibs need to do differently then to what Rangers did?
3-5-2. Just Boyle and Neil use the space on the wings.
I was just going to say, just go at them relentless. Use the width. Easter Road's a wider pitch,
right?
And just absolutely smash them to bits. I didn't have any other tactical input. Just smash them, put them down. Date properly this time. No like that season that we like relegation, but this will be the last derby of the season.
Yeah, it will be.
Yep. So
Fair
let's
enough.
go and enjoy it, because we're not going to get another one.
Unless we've been drawn against them in the semi-final of the Cup.
Yes, that's true.
Folk could be listening to that and be like, no, actually, there's actually the semi-final. So,
aye.
But we'll wait and see what the draw is with that. So, I mean, we spoke about Boyle. So I know you guys seem to be making your mind up, but hear me out and we'll have a conversation about this. Boyle was very effective. Again, yes, at Tynecastle and narrow pitch, but very effective up top. Could there be an argument to bring in McGregor to play at the back, put McGinn to the right wing back, and play Boyle up top alongside Doidge?
No.
To get the pace in behind?
No.
There could be, but at the same time, Boyle as a wing back still gets forward pretty freely, and I still think he'd find gaps. And I actually quite like Boyle running from deep at players, and like seeing him at the fouls and Vanessa to get away. I think you lose that, and you maybe no get us up the park
as quick
or like with as much intensity if you play him up top.
I think Boyle's been one of the most enjoyable things from a Hibs supporter in terms of his involvement, his evolvement. He's evolved as a footballer, is what I'm trying to say. Because before it was very much, he'd get the ball, he'd knock it past somebody, and he'd sprint it. A bit like Ivan Spurl and stuff, and he would hug the touchline. But you see him now; he's got all that confidence, and he'll come inside, and people think, who's picking him up and stuff, and people get confused with that, and then that's when they're bringing him down. Players are getting booked and stuff. So I think it's been brilliant to see his game evolve so much. So yeah, Stephen, you're saying no to that, you'd keep him out wide rather than the middle.
I just think that to take a place away from either Gullen or McNulty to play Doidge up front when we've got him effective as a wing back, I think it's just too much an ask. I think that obviously with what we've got there, McNulty's still trying to score goals. He's got to keep his tally up to either push for a Scotland place or to get a better move in the summer when he goes back to Reading. You've got Gullen, who's just come off the back of a Scottish Cup quarter-final win with his first goal for the club, like at senior level. He scored 4 goals. What was it, 4 or 5 goals against Huddersfield last week? Aye. So I mean, you've got another striker who's sitting on the bench there that will come on and score goals for you. I think it's a bit pointless taking another natural striker off to put Boyle up there.
Fair enough. Just having a conversation. Don't shoot the message. Just thought it was an intriguing conversation to have. But that's fair enough. You've made your points well. So I think it's a given that Docherty starts central midfield, which testament to him. We've got all options in midfield, so that the fact that he's a no-brainer, shows how well he's been playing. But who plays beside him? Obviously, Whittaker started the game. Omyonga finished the game. Slivka's been playing there in recent weeks. I'm a big fan of Halberg, who kind of seem to get a look in there now. Who starts on Tuesday night, or who should be starting on Tuesday night beside Docherty?
I'd start Omyonga, but at the same time, I wouldn't be annoyed at all if it was Halberg or Whittaker.
I think even Slivka plays well against Hearts in the middle of the field. He does well, but I think you could pretty much play anybody alongside Docherty and Allen in the middle now. Obviously, Allen's pushed up a wee bit, but you need somebody that'll give him a wee bit more freedom, and I think that Slivka and Docherty were doing that well. I think since Stevenson came back into the team, it's slowed it down a bit, and that's why he's went and dipped in form again. But yeah, maybe Halberg, I'd say.
Fair enough. So, getting back to Hearts then, their main danger man, probably Naismith, looked quite good yesterday. Anybody else would you say was a key danger man, or is Naismith the one we've got to try and keep quiet?
It depends where Smith plays as well, because he was putting in quite a few good balls into the box and that yesterday. And they do worry me at set pieces, because with Naismith being so small, it doesn't seem to matter. Like that Edmondson's like twice his size, and Naismith was winning a lot of headers and that against them, and flick-ons, and just being an absolute pain in the arse. Because he's so niggly. But so set pieces I would worry about, because Smith does put a decent ball in the box.
No, I'd agree. I think obviously now that Jackson's started to find a bit more of form as well in the last few games, I think he'll make a bit more of a difference against Naismith, because I'd rather have Jackson on Naismith than Hanlon.
The top goal scorer will probably end up playing too, Halkett.
Aye, that's true.
Aye.
So you've got to worry about him.
Aye, it's nuts. Because Naismith only got 4 goals this season in the league, so aye. But still a real danger, like you say. Played well yesterday.
Do you think that Newell will be back in the team? Do you think that's why he was rested for Friday?
I don't know if it was.
Because there was talk of him coming back in for the Inverness game, but then obviously Stevenson started.
Was Newell even on the bench?
No.
So I don't know. Whether was he rested or was he not? Or did his niggle was still there?
Well, that was my question.
Wouldn't it be the worst thing in the world though, just to have Stevenson for the derby? Stevenson was alright the other night. He just that thing that
final ball.
We talk about every single podcast. He looks like he could drive down the line and then he'll just decide not to.
I just think
cut
it's
it
more
back.
an out ball with Newell.
I know there is 100%, and his set pieces, the corner delivery, and that's like.
But Stevenson is the sort of player you want playing against Hearts, though.
Yeah, like that's what I'm saying.
His performance at Tynecastle's best performances by far.
He's played really well, and like so's McGregor and that as well. So put any of your Hibs boys in for Hearts, and you're fine.
Callum was asking if we want to finish 4th, do we need to win on Tuesday? Derby aside, it's a home game against the worst performance team in the league.
Yes, we need to win on Tuesday, regardless of anything else in the whole entire universe that's happening. It's a derby at Easter Road. Need to win. I don't care if it meant nothing in terms of the league. You could make it for fucking no points and it was a friendly, and I'd still think it was the most important thing in the world.
Love it. Steven?
Just
can't really follow that yet. What's your score predictions for the game then?
As I say, I'm really nervous. You nervous, Stephen?
Shit myself.
I always get this, and but
you don't know why.
So confident leading up to it, and then when it gets to the weekend, I'm like, I'm going to say we win 3-1.
Stephen?
Come on, Stephen. Hit us with it.
5-1.
Shut up. See, I'm all excited again now. I just need to have the right conversation with the right people.
Fuck it. 4-0, why no? Let's go
4-0 Hibs.
Aye.
Oh no, we've jinxed it. We've jinxed it.
So with it being the derby on Tuesday, I thought we'd do a little bit of a quiz. I sort of scribbled up some questions here. So it's just a case of we've done quizzes a couple different ways. We'll do that. You shout out your name and I'll come to you. Don't say the answer until I come to you. But and you can stop me at any time if you know where the question's going. But once you've gone, you're out, and the other person gets as much time as they want to answer it. So let's start with the first question then. Name all the scorers in order in the 6-2 game.
In order's a bit ambitious.
Come on, you must watch this
Right,
VHS back every second week.
Dave will go first.
Okay.
These are not going to be in order.
Give it a bash though.
Mixu, he's go first.
Maybe. I maybe shouldn't have given it away, but okay, yeah, Mixu scored first, so that's
Yeah.
one. Okay.
Mixu, Latapi.
Nope.
Did he scored?
He did score,
Aye.
but yeah.
Just
So-
keep going.
No, so
You moving on to Stephen?
Stephen, we'll come back to you. Stephen, what you can get a second chance. So have a think. Stephen, what are you going to go first? Have a guess at the scorers or what order?
Mixu, Mixu.
Yep.
You dirty, dirty dog.
Oh shit.
Peak too early.
Latapi.
Nope. So who was the third scorer? Come on.
Satelli.
It was the telly. If you can get the next three in order, I'll give you the point.
So Mixu, Satelli, Latapi. Did Mixu score a hat trick?
Yes. Everyone knows
I
that.
knew he did anyway. It was just one of them.
So who was next?
Mixu, last one.
For a point, who scored the last goal in the 6-2 game?
Latapi.
No, incorrect. It was John O'Neill.
I was about to say that. I
No,
thought
you weren't
he
getting
had
the-
two goals.
You weren't getting the point. You weren't getting him doing 5, and then you were going to get the last one. From
He
the
never
point.
done
No, you're
5.
not
He
stealing
done the
that.
first one, and I
Anyway.
got 2.
Anyway, no points to either of these. Ridiculous. Get back and watch the VHS ahead of Tuesday. So Hibs won 2-0 at Easter Road thanks to goals from Boozlin and O'Connor. Who was the manager that day? I'm not going to give you the year because that would give it away. But who was the manager when Boozy and O'Connor scored the only goals of the game for a 2-0 win at Easter Road?
Stephen Mowbray.
Correct. 1-0 Stephen. Okay. Hibs could be drawn against Hearts in the Scottish Cup in the semi-final. Again, might have already by the time folk are listening to this. How many times this century have we played them in the League Cup though?
This century.
This century.
So in 20 years.
Yeah.
Right. I wasn't sure you meant the last 100.
No.
Right,
Since
that's
the
fine.
turn of the
Stephen.
century.
None.
Nope.
Right, I'll get the point then.
No, you
You've
don't.
got to guess how many.
I'll just say one, and then I'm closer than him.
That's
No,
not
you're wrong,
how
though.
it works. Though.
But I never said one. I just said as an example. So I'll say 3.
No, it was 2.
That's how you get your pig.
Right. So bonus points up for grabs if you can say which seasons those games happened in. So just sort of chuck out 2 seasons both and see if anybody gets it right.
The first one was in 2002.
Nope.
And the second one was in 2009.
Nope. Stephen, chuck out 2 seasons out. So 2 bonus points up for grabs.
03, 04.
Nope.
Oh,
So
Look
what
at
is
you,
it?
0304. That's in covering both bases.
That's fine, aye, that's what I'm looking for.
04.
Is that-
Yeah, that was because that was.
So
the game
choose another season for potentially 1 point. Have a guess.
I know what. If it's any consolation to you now.
11, 12.
No.
Nope.
It was 2008.
No.
No.
It was 06-07 and 13-14. So and
Why? Because we beat them in the semi-final before we beat Kilmarnock in the final.
Did we?
Yeah.
Damn
Can I?
Hibs won 1-0 at Tynecastle on August 2007. Who scored the only goal that game?
August 2007.
Stephen, Benji.
Nope.
Fuck.
Riordan penalty.
Nope. Stephen, you said it earlier on. Brian Kerr.
Oh, shit.
When was the Riordan penalty one? What year was that?
That was 07, 08, but it was league.
Ah, Jesus, that was 1-0 as well, wasn't it?
It was
that
08,
was in
it was
August.
08, 09 because me and you went.
Aye. So I believe we've already done. We might have already done this question on the podcast before, so I apologise if I have for duplicating it.
How
But
bad is this going?
who?
I'm still
I
winning.
think the quiz is brilliant, but you are just thick as mince. Who has the most competitive goals against Hearts? Is it Eddie Turnbull, Gordon Smith, Arthur Duncan, or Laurie Riley?
I'm going to say Riley.
Stephen, what are you going to go for?
Duncan.
It was Gordon Smith.
Fuck's sake.
See what I mean? I just went to the "Give the ball to Riley" for that. I thought it was moved for that reason.
So, final question. Name 5 players that have played for both clubs. David Gray doesn't count because he never played for Hearts, although
Dave.
he was on the books. So 5 players.
Right,
Go for
so
it,
I'll
Dave.
go first because I'm never going to get off 5 and then I'll
Right.
pass it to you. So I'm going to get the easy ones. Right, I'm going to say Paul Hartley.
Yep.
Mikey Stewart.
Yep.
Adam Eckersley.
Mm-hmm.
I already know there are 2. I'm raging.
There's more than that. There's more. There's loads that have played for both.
Is there?
Yeah.
Wait now. Give me 2 seconds. Because my mind's just... Faco Reras.
Yes.
Oh, what his name is. That's 4.
See, one more for
One
to
there.
draw the quiz.
See, I'm thinking of another... Oh, Danny Swanson.
Fucking bastard.
Yes! There you go, ram that up your pipe. What you got to do now? Because I've not just stuffed Stephen in the last minute. I've stuffed the host because you've not got a deciding question, have you?
Nah. Give me a second. I'll
Get
think
out
of
the
one.
trees.
So as a decider, what we'll do, you've both got pen and paper there. I'm going to ask you a question, and whoever's closest wins the quiz. So
Closest to you.
closest-
I win.
So, how many competitive matches has there been between Hibs and Hearts? So the closest to it wins. So how many competitive matches has there been between Hibs and Hearts? So scribble down a number, and I'll try and stall as you take your time. Dave, you're just picking a number. Come on.
Yeah, go.
Right, okay. Stephen, what have you gone for?
167.
Dave, what have you gone for?
How many competitive matches
Yeah.
between Hibs and Hearts
Uh-huh.
in their histories?
Oh, fuck.
Jesus Christ. 560.
I don't know, it's close. I need to get the calculator.
Is it in the middle? Like,
Hi.
how is it?
324.
Me, I'm closer.
I'm going to do the maths. 2 seconds. So doing the maths, Stephen, you're 157 away. So that's, although you're closer,
That's pretty hopeless. Stephen.
that's way too far away to be considered a winner. Which just gonna gets a bit more pressure on this one. But
Well,
I'm not done another one
how
after
many
this.
was Dave out though?
200 and something.
Two-
So-
Aye, but to be fair, I
236.
picked like I worked at all the friendlies and behind the closed doors games and that we have,
You-
and that I went like the reserve league and development league and that. So I was spot on, but I just misunderstood the question.
all
Well,
you were
I'm-
closer with all because all I did clearly say competitive, but all was 600 and something. So
Yeah.
you were closer with that. But
Thank you.
anyway,
Get
let's-
up, you Stephen.
so the highest attendance, the attendance record for an Edinburgh derby was set at Easter Road in 1950 when Hearts won 2-1. What was the attendance that day? Stephen, what did you go for?
Make Dave go first.
Okay,
I'll go
Dave, what did
first.
you go for? Since Stephen's been really protective over it.
70,170.
Okay, Stephen,
68,000.
68,000 you
Yeah.
went for. That looks like a 2 to me.
Yeah, I know, but I remembered it was 68 or something round about that.
Yeah, he's wrote 62.
You wrote
Oh, for
62.
fuck's
He's
sake.
changing
fine,
it just to go
62.
closer to me, so that if he's right.
Doesn't matter, it's closer either way, it's 65,000.
Was it?
Fuck you, Dave.
I had it on a keyring.
I was
I'm not
3,000
happy with that,
either
though.
side. 3,000 either side. It
I
doesn't
don't
matter.
like you changing your answer though. This is why I got you to write it down. That's a bit.
How many times
Hearts
did he change his
tactics.
answers during the normal quiz?
So
I won.
with the that's no one I'd be boasting about, but yeah, after
It
a
doesn't matter.
second,
I won.
after a second sudden death question, Stephen wins the quiz this week.
Well, I won the first sudden death question as well. You just declared it was too far out.
Come on, we've got to be within reason. That's like putting.
I agree with the host.
Of course you do. You're not getting a bonus point for it.
So we were set to have an interview with Darren, chatting to him, who was the mascot last week, but unfortunately with some technical issues, the audio hasn't properly recorded. So I apologise to Dan for that, and I apologise we've not been able to get that on. But great to see him as a mascot last week. He kind of was speaking about how he had a great time, and I'll look to get something sorted out and get that up on his YouTube channel. So I apologise, Dan, that's not worked out. But like I say, if you check out his YouTube channel, I'll try and re-record that with him and get up on there for him. But anyway, also Hibs ladies kicked off. We spoke to Stefan a couple of weeks ago in regards to that. So Kelsey was at the game, so I kind of got some feedback from Kelsey in regards to how they played. So I was asking how the team set up, and she was letting us know that set up similar to the usual way, the way they had been last season. They were trying to break down the other teams and attack a lot. Asked which new signings impressed the most and why. She said both were impressive, but definitely Sophie Allison made some great saves and good decisions to come out for the ball when players running onto it. So obviously with keepers leaving and stuff, it's great to hear that Sophie's settling in so quickly. Asked about Boyle got man of the match. Was she sort of woman of the match, and if not her, then who? Personally, I'd say they all worked hard. I could never really pick anybody. Let me know. Let me get back to you on this one. So Kelsey's kind of not been able to pick out a winner from there, but great to see. Obviously formerly Rachel Boyle getting her goal late on in the game for a winner. So that was great. And obviously the news came out that Joel Murray signed a semi-professional contract. So asking sort of our opinion, Kelsey's opinion on that. Kelsey came back with, Joel is one of the most deserving. She's such an amazing ambassador for our club. Does the great work at Hibs Girls Academy, inspiring the next generation. So great to hear that all that work that Joel's doing has been rewarded with a professional contract. And the next game is Motherwell, so we're asking Kelsey how she feels ahead of that. I'm optimistic when we play Motherwell. It's always a challenge. They like to make them work hard. However, I'm sure the women's team will get the result. So appreciate Kelsey for the feedback there, and we'll hopefully do more of this in terms of keeping you updated with how the ladies team are getting on with little bits of updates and stuff. So getting on to the questions from online now. We'll ask you guys for some questions. Said we were recording this morning. So the first question we had here was actually from yesterday, but I thought we'd chuck it into the podcast. What is the general opinion on Ron Gordon from a Hibs point of view? I've read a few of his interviews, etc. recently, and he's certainly different. So Dave, you kind of briefly said hi to him at the AGM, shook his hand and stuff. What's your kind of, and then obviously we all saw his presentation. What's your kind of impression being of Ron Gordon?
He's really small. I know I'm quite tall, but yeah, he's really small.
I can sympathise with him there.
Yeah, he's smaller than you.
Is he?
I would say so.
Smaller than you.
I would say so. But nah, I'm really impressed. Really good vision or plans and everything that's come out. I'm well happy with it. Like, it's quite actually exciting for a change.
He's quite eccentric though, isn't he? He's quite,
Yeah, I like that though. But some
of
these wee jokes, and when he done like impressions, he like Barry speaking on the tannoy was brilliant. Aye, made a wee joke about Rod Petrie mumbling. There was a load of wee jokes, and that it was really good.
Yeah,
it just shows that he's
I think it shows he's really sort of, he's not just sort of saying that he's been investing a lot of time in it, getting to understand the club. I think it's shown that he has, and he's picking up on all these little things that we kind of, and he's listening as well because he's mentioned a lot of stuff that has been said to him and that. So I really like him. Steven, just sort of
100% agree.
Okay, so we've covered the one about Murrayfield. Malk or Soze4 is asking, love Marciano, but his lack of command in the 6-yard box is a worry for me. You can hear Maxwell marshalling his defence from the top of the East. Couldn't hear a word from Rocky against BSE. Does he need to be more aggressive in coming for crosses?
I would definitely help. He isn't the best at that. My biggest gripe with Marciano, and it's not even he's kicking anymore, it's just how long he takes sometimes to, like, we could just get the ball back out and then play, and he seems to take his time.
Yeah.
When we didn't have time, he picks and chooses his moments with that. So, but nah, he's a good goalkeeper, isn't he? So we're like picking at the wee tiny things. As long as he keeps the ball in the net, that's all I'm bothered about. But
and the next question we've got here is obviously we're talking about the Naismith scored 4 goals. Would Adam Jackson get a game up front for Hearts? Big tall laddie, scores goals.
He scored about 4 goals as well.
He has, aye.
I got a game for Hearts, aye. Wouldn't it be difficult? I think I'd get a game.
Do you think?
Aye. Nah, after that charity tournament, definitely not. Flashbacks.
What you guys got planned for the rest of the day? He's going to try and catch the football later on then?
Aye. To go home, watch some of the football. Play a bit of Call of Duty, I think.
Alright, cool.
I know.
Aye.
That big win.
Steven?
Yeah, just football.
As you found out, I don't know if you've seen the message because I deleted it, but as Stephen found out this morning, it's my dad's birthday.
I really wish I'd got to save that clip. I was raging.
I sent a voice clip. I meant to send it to my this chat with my family, my mum and dad and my brothers and that, and I accidentally sent it to the group chat with a bunch of hibbies and stuff. So
Your mum got him anything nice, like a wee treat?
fuck you.
What do you think? Just
He's
saying.
up in Aberdeen at my grandma's, so
They'll be up for tap.
It can happen on the car home, like.
Oh no. Okay,
Cheers for that.
No worries. I hope it's in your mind. One thing I just wanted to mention today, I forgot. It's just actually quite a wee somber note. Obviously, we live in the podcasting world, and there's a Rangers podcast announced it's stopping this week. So it's quite sad, isn't it?
Just because they've had enough.
They've just had enough. They've ironically walked away.
Take a minute.
When the going gets tough, the Rangers get going. So they've had enough of this podcast at the moment. So big shout out to the boys and the Bears in the big blue house. I hope he's come back even stronger next time and didn't let it put off you too much.
Aye.
It's amazing, though, isn't it?
I know. It's incredible. It's just like we don't do walking away, and it looks like the manager might be walking away from what he was saying yesterday. He's going to have to contemplate stuff. It's just
Contemplate what? This is what I was saying downstairs. He's just signed a 4-year deal.
Yeah.
Who does he think he is for him to be the one making that decision? What, just because you've no won? Put your dummy back in and get on with it and try and win something next year.
Aye.
But be worried that you get chucked before that. Yeah?
I'd stick around for the garden and leave.
Oh, aye. Alan McCoy's still a gardener.
Just now, isn't it?
Anyway, we'll leave it there, folks. Thank you for listening. Enjoy the derby. Let's go pump them, and we'll speak to you next week.
Bye.